What is a dynasty? Do you like that intro? Are you feeling immersed? Well, now's the time I tell you to hit that subscribe button. There are tons of ways to ask, but I'm not going to waste your time. These videos take forever, and my mom reminds me of my small sub count every morning at breakfast, so if you could take one quick moment to hit that subscribe button, that would be amazing. Thanks, and enjoy the video. Alabama's reign of dominance starting in the late 2000s can only be described with one word: dynasty, and it all goes back to one man. But arguably, the greatest college football dynasty of all time might be coming to an end because of his retirement. So let me ask again, what is a dynasty? Now, I could go on and talk about some dictionary definition or something, but I'm not writing an English paper. According to YouTube analytics, not only is no one subscribed, but most of my audience consists of young people. So we're gonna look at the only other dynasty that could compare so far in our lifetimes: the New England Patriots. If you look at the numbers, these two teams are actually quite similar despite being in different leagues. They both had outstanding players drafted or recruited really well, and they were led by two legendary head coaches, Saban and Belichick. Well, the Pats had that Tom Brady guy or whatever, but you know what I'm trying to say. The Pats won 6 Super Bowls from 2002 to 2019, and during the Bama Dynasty, they also won 6 rings. Honestly, at this point, I don't even know how long you can play college football for. However, if you're playing at Alabama, you're likely headed to the NFL, so the turnover rate is extremely high. And that is why true dynasties are so hard in college football. You can't have your Tom Brady's or Michael Jordans, because if all goes well, those great players like Bryce Young, Derrick Henry, and countless others will move on to bigger and better things. On a real note though, that 2015-2016 team was basically an NFL roster. All these components are necessary, but in college football especially, it always comes back to the head coach. So if we consider Alabama football to be a true dynasty and Coach Saban to be at the root of their success, what makes him great? Now, we've all seen the clips.
No, Jarrell, run the road again!
But I think the things that set Saban apart at Alabama comes down to two things: his ability to execute and especially win games that they should win. But in my opinion, Saban's Alabama standard is what really put them at the pinnacle of college football for so long. First up, Saban was always good at winning games that he was supposed to win and even dominating most of them. Well, 99% of the time. I think this graph right here illustrates my point perfectly. Alabama was able to win a lot and win consistently, because you can have all the money in the world, but if you can't execute on any given Saturday, you will fail. Now, today, in 2024 under Kalen DeBoer, this team does not bounce back and dominate. Earlier this season, Alabama got upset by Vanderbilt 40-35. And the very next week, they only beat South Carolina by 2 points, 27-25. Okay, I know, Bama just milli rocked LSU in Death Valley, but these examples still stand, okay? I'm not scrapping this entire video. I've been editing it for 4 hours. Next is this idea of the Alabama standard. When you're playing at Alabama, you have to understand that every game you play is the other team's Super Bowl. If you didn't already know, Texas A&M is one of my teams. Okay, I know, please don't hold it against me, okay? And I can distinctly remember the 2 times we beat Alabama so far in the SEC, and those are some of my favorite football memories. Man, that 2012 game, it's basically infamous now. But if you're not held to the Alabama standard, or really the Nick Saban standard, and players start doing stuff like this on freaking QB sneaks, then the program can simply not maintain the dynasty that has ruled over college football for so long. The moment for the whole idea for this video was back at the beginning of the season when Destroying released his tour of the Alabama football facilities. There was a comment that said something like, "This only got approved because Saban left," and tons of comments about how this video aged poorly, and I kind of think they're right. The one thing that I immediately noticed is that there's money flashed everywhere. In the title, at the beginning of the video, when Ryan Williams walks in and shows off his diamond chains. Please note that I'm a big fan of Destroying. I love his content, I've watched it for years, and I understand that money gets you views. And I have no problem with the NIL. In fact, I wanted it to get passed. I think these players should absolutely get compensated for their work on the field. Now, I do think that there should be a different system in place, but that's a video for another day. But at the end of the day, I have so much respect for the work that these athletes put in, and literally, I'm just a kid with a camera. So do I think Alabama can still win at a high level? Of course, they have the talent, recruiters, and all the money in the world. In my opinion, if Kalen DeBoer wants to win championships at Alabama and more importantly, keep his job, I think he needs to earn the respect from his players. But remember, this respect thing goes both ways. Obviously, I'm not a coach. I have no idea what the inner workings of the Alabama football program are. But I do know coaches like Saban and Belichick, and I know they win. If you made it this far, I definitely forced you to watch this, but that's okay. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit all the YouTube buttons, and have a great day.